Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Dreadlocks. I'm Gunther the Great, and today we're going to be talking about Stunna for Vegas Dreadlocks. And just to start off, I always like to start out with the hair type that they have, and a lot of you guys do request people with this hair type, and a lot of you are like, yo, why does everyone have this hair type? The reason being is because people with this hair type typically are more suitable to get dreadlocks. Now, with that being said, the hair type is 4B, and hair types range from anywhere to 1 all the way to 4C. And why do we always end up with people with the 4 range hair type? And that is the more curly, more tight curl pattern versus straight hair. And the reason being is because, like I said, getting dreadlocks is more suitable for people with the 4 range or even the later 3s hair types, just because with those tighter curl patterns, it makes it easier to actually lock up your hair. So with Stunna for Vegas, he does have a 4B hair type. And the best way for you to figure out your hair type is after this video, click the link down below that says what is your hair type, and it'll explain everything you need to know about your personal hair type and what methods work for you in order to get dreadlocks. So you can really see how easy it is just to watch one of these videos and figure out how to get your dreadlocks just like one of your favorite artists, rappers, celebrities, and so on and so forth. Now, the moment you figure out someone else's hair type, it's easier to figure out how they actually started their dreadlocks, and that is called a method. So a method is basically a way that you choose in order to start your dreadlocks. And just to list off a few, you can do twist and rip, which is usually for a straighter hair type. You can do crochet hooking, which is basically for any hair type. You can do sponge rub, which is for the 4 and 3 range. You can do twisting with gel. You can do interlocking. There's so many different methods you could choose for your dreadlocks, but it's easier to tell the method based on the hair type. So in this case, it's kind of tough just because of his hair type being so tight. It's easy for his hair to actually lock up on its own. It's easy for his hair to coil up on its own. And one thing I found about searching up Stunna for Vegas is that it was tough to figure out how long his dreadlocks are today. And I actually found this picture on his Instagram story. So his hair is actually not as long as it was back in 2019. So he is maintaining his length by trimming them. And one thing you really notice in the rap community is people usually maintain their length by cutting them. And that's one thing that we're seeing Stunna for Vegas doing to his dreadlocks, is maintaining the length by cutting them. And a lot of people do trim their dreadlocks in order to maintain the length. And that's just because they appreciate the length and where they're at, and they don't want their hair to get any longer. And doing that is really simple. All you do is trim it as it grows longer. It's very simple. But how did he get his hair to look the way that it did in the beginning stages? Did he use twisting with gel? Did he use crochet hooking? And I would throw both of those out the window because I don't think that's what he actually used. And I don't even think he uses that to this day. I believe the way that he started out could have possibly been sponge rub, which is using a dreadlock sponge, which I actually have one right here. And this is the dreadlock sponge, and he could have possibly used this, and I'm linking this down below. All you do is go around clockwise or counterclockwise motions, but you want to continue in that motion. With using this, it does create the sections for you. Now with him, he never really had defined sections until now. I would even say until 2019, last year, when his hair was a little bit longer. They were more defined, and you could definitely tell that he had some sections in there. But if you look at the beginning stages and you look at his hair now, there's not any defined sections, and you could honestly say that he started with freeform and is possibly just doing freeforming now. And there is a little bit of maintenance that he is doing, because if he was going completely freeform, his hair would look a little more different. It'd be leaning more towards how The Weeknd's hair looked, or it would just be leaning more in the direction of the freeform style. But now that we see that he does have some sections and his hair does hang even at the length that it's at, because if you notice, people with freeform dreadlocks, which freeform is just allowing your hair to freely form, not doing any method or maintenance on your hair whatsoever, which is more recommended for people with anything from the 3B and up on the hair types. Because if you have anything lower than that, it's tougher for you to get freeforms and for them to actually look mature and actually, in my opinion, look appealing. But if you do want to get freeforms with any hair type, you can. It just turns out a little different for everybody's hair type, but I wouldn't recommend it for anybody under a 3B. That's just my recommendation. But if you notice anybody with freeform dreadlocks, usually at a shorter length, their hair always stands up all the way up until probably about 6 inches. Then their hair might start to hang, but depending on how their hair grows out, it's all different. But if Stunna for Vegas was going completely freeform, his hair would definitely still be standing up right now. So guys, with that being said, I believe the only maintenance that he's doing is, of course, he's continuing freeforming, but at the same time, he's doing some level of separation. And all you do with that is if you see any congos coming in, which a congo is any 2 or more dreadlocks connecting to each other. If he sees any congos growing, then he can just separate them at the roots. And all you do is take the tips of the dreadlocks and pull them close to your head like this, and you pull them away from each other, and it's simple separation. So I think that's one thing that he's possibly doing, and that's one thing that you guys can do as well, if you have his hair type or anything around it, because I'm saying if you have anything less than a 3, I would say probably like anything less than a 3B, 3C, it's going to be tough for you to freeform, and it's going to turn out different than how his is looking. Now, since he does have a tight curl pattern and his dreadlocks are already forming and they're forming very small, with separation, they're going to look really good. And by saying really good, I mean that they're gonna look quite maintained because of his hair type. Now, I'll make this promise to you guys that I will do more videos on people with a lesser hair type or a hair type, you know, from anywhere from 1 to 3B, so that you guys can relate a little bit better for people with that hair type. Because I could put it this way, anybody with, you know, a 4 range hair type, it's almost second nature for their hair to lock up. And anybody under that, you have to actually put a little bit more work into it. But anybody can get dreadlocks, and anybody will get dreadlocks if they put their mind to it. Now, like I did mention, guys, if you do want to start your dreadlocks out like Stunna for Vegas, pick yourself up a dreadlock sponge. It'll be linked down below. And also down below, I'm linking a crochet needle, because these are definitely crucial for locking your dreadlocks and just for maintenance in general. Everybody needs one of these. I'm doing a video on this really soon, talking about how many celebrities have used this and how many people actually use this and it works on their dreadlocks. And if you guys haven't seen the very famous video of Chris McDread doing instant dreadlocks, he used this tool and many people have used it. I've used it myself, I've used it on other people, and I've literally given someone a full head of dreadlocks in less than 5 hours. And I'm talking mature dreadlocks, not just started them out, but I'm talking about very mature. They could start washing them immediately. But you guys, I'm linking the crochet needle down below, and you can also find it on greatlocks.com. We're actually doing a sale right now because of the pandemic and COVID-19. Shipping and handling is taking a little bit longer than usual, just because of first responders and essential organizations getting stuff quicker, and everything is being expedited towards them. Shipping is taking a little bit longer. So I went ahead and put out a sale for you guys for the crochet needles, because that is our best seller, and also the interlocking tool, because that is our second best seller. And there also is a bundle on there. It's called a locking bundle, and it's literally everything you need for your dreadlocks. All you have to do is click the link down below and you guys will experience some savings. But if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and also comment down below who you'd like to see next. Preferably someone who has like straight hair or anything less than a 3B, because I know you guys are definitely wanting to see that. And if you don't know anything about hair types, like I said, make sure to click the link down below. It says what is your hair type, and it'll tell you everything you need to know about your hair type, other people's hair types that I'm explaining in these videos, and also what to do with that hair type in order to get dreadlocks. But you guys, other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.